but I'm also trying to generate traffic. I'm having a big misunderstanding. Like, do I just want to share photo streams, or do I just post everything that I do? You know, I mix that, makes me feel limited when I do that. You know.
Sure. Well, let me dig a little bit deeper here, BJ, in your question. What is the overall goal at the end of the day with this? I mean, I understand kind of the short term goal you're asking, but what is the
overall goal is the traffic though. My overall goal is to generate a following, to gain the interest of people, to show them different events and functions on a social, business, and even personal platform.
Yep.
I'm really turning it into like a learning process with the social media, you know, because it's like people spend hours on the Facebook and then, yeah, you got cool stuff to show them, but they didn't even learn anything.
Right.
So I'm trying to figure out how I could entertain them and teach them some of the basics.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you really look at what you're asking for initially is really how, you know, as you're talking to clients, consulting with clients, is how you're really, you know, the education. How do you structure education? In your offering, really, that's it. Because, and also, how do you measure it? Because I think it's one of the key parts. And I just kind of pulled this out as somewhat of a frustration. Obviously, it's anything else. You're like, okay, you throw stuff out there, could be great videos, you know, but are people actually reading, or people actually watching it and everything else? My initial thought is to shoot this out there, and I might pull up a screen here. And by the way, I'm recording this too, so as we go by, if there's some, you know, things that you pull out, obviously you can rewind and everything else. So, and obviously this is only available to to people that are part of Social Media Help Center. My initial thought with that, and I pinged Joel here to get him in, but my initial thought on that is, if you're looking to educate, is to when you're looking at educating consulting clients in what you're doing, especially, is to try to actually tie that in. I would look at, first off, tying it into a communication mechanism, maybe even like a MailChimp.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, you know, a good example, like for the conference today, we started by sending an email on Thursday, right? Yes. So we built that up, right? We built it up because really, at the end of the day, if you just share things out and hope that, you know, that one thing gets, that one thing makes the impact, the one time. So even if it's bless you.
Thank you.
If it's that one post that you put out there, but that makes an effect, you know, if you're looking for it to make that effect just one time, it's not necessarily going to be worth what. You're not really getting the best bang out of the buck. So you might create this excellent video or write an excellent blog post to get people interested, which obviously builds trust. If you're going to sell a consulting service.
Well, it's to cut you off real quick. It's not about clients or consultant. It's more the consumer base. I'm looking at to create a consumer market that can feel entertained and educated. It's if you want to put it in a nutshell, I'm trying to pretty much bring like WITF, that network, to like an MTV, you know, where there's more of a consumer base, but you know, all the WTIF viewers are looking to gain some type of intellect, where the MTV also wants to be entertained. And that's the market I'm trying to really create.
Let me just dig down a little bit deeper, BJ, and I just want to make sure I get a solid grip. You know, I mean, I'm just trying to think it from your model. What's your end game? Obviously, try to paint this picture. If you can paint the picture a little bit further on that, like, is it when you say you're trying to entertain? You know, you're trying to entertain. Can you get a little bit more specific into that?
Yeah, entertain as far as like what the media is, more communication, as far as like a network, more or less, a broadband that is communicating, but also that is, when I say entertain, it's that delivering content that will attract the most common consumer eye.
Right.
Is what I'm trying to have, like just a broadband of different type of events, shows, and functionalities.
Okay. Now, what's the end goal? Is the end goal to drive? Is it with that? I mean, are you trying to sell more of XYZ, or what are you trying to out of that effort? What are you trying to? What's the tangible?
As far as the gain, the beneficial gain?
Yeah.
Yeah, more or less, it will be having that you have the consumers locked. You're almost able to control a game, whether it's like a hosting an event, more or less like a show, or when I say entertainment, I mean more like shows, engagements.
Okay.
More like paid entertainment. Obviously, is the big picture. Yeah.
Okay. Now I can kind of see a little picture. So you're talking about, again, really trying to build a market of people that when you educate, but to get because the video photography side of, say, events, like you said, events, also personal events, people are seeing you as the subject matter expert on that. Sharing great content around there, really engaging your community. But then now they see you as a figure for, hey, who are we hiring for a wedding? Who are we hiring for our next corporate event? Who are we hiring for the next promo video that we want to do? Is that am I right by that? Or?
Yeah, you hit it right on the nose. Exactly. And also building the trust that they know there's going to be a lot more than your average entertainment or media services we would go with. Mm-hmm.
Sure. Okay. That makes sense now. Okay. So yeah, it's driving. Yeah, I got you. So you're driving that. Let me switch over here because I don't think I can best answer your question by, again, staring at this thing.
Yeah.
So, let's take it over here. I'm gonna pull up. I'm going to share my screen here. Let me pull this up. Let me know. Can you see it? Okay. I know I have a huge monitor here, so I usually try to. Let me know if you can see that. Okay.
Yeah, I can see it. Mm-hmm.
Andrew, you good? Okay. Cool.
Yep.
All right. Let me try to. What I'm thinking here, and then I'll just start pulling up screens because that's usually kind of how I think. Initially, you have to know, number one, as I mentioned before, you need 4 things to you really achieve your purpose, generate more event business from your community. So you've identified your community through the people as, so we know our people are basically consumers, right?
Okay.
So the first question is, as far as finding where the people are, is, where the heck are these people? Where do they hang out? Are they on LinkedIn? Is it more corporate events? Is it Facebook? Is it wherever? Is it Twitter?
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you're also looking at a locale, right?
Yeah.
Like Harrisburg, generally like Harrisburg, Central Pennsylvania area, maybe even southeastern Pennsylvania. Am I right by that?
Yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Here's what I would recommend, and I'm going to show you a strategy that you can actually start for free with Buffer app. I'll get you going with that. Because initially what you want to try to when you first, obviously, this, like if you have, the Facebook page and things like that. I mean, some people might be interested, like good example, some people that are, might hire you to do a video for, maybe their wedding. They might be interested in entertainment for about 3 months. Until, because they get like, oh crap, I got to hire, I got to hire somebody to take our pictures and do the video and all that. And then after that, obviously, that maybe they're not as interested. So what you want to do, my recommendation is, looking at your community, is to look at the referral sources. So how do you create a community really for the planners? Jason Verdelli's of the world, you're kind of taking a crapshoot there, I think. This is my opinion. But I think, it's good to, you could try to generate interest from, regular consumers. But again, when they go onto Facebook, are they spending 10 minutes checking out their friends, or are they spending 10 minutes on your page?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a reality. We only have versus, you have to look at where, so if your end goal is to get to that person, it might not necessarily be advantageous to target that person in social media, digital media directly. It sounds weird. It sounds kind of like off center, but at the end of the day, it's like, okay, if we can focus on building a community of, wedding, 100,000 wedding planners, let's start with 10. But if we can focus on that, then it's a better use of our time.
Okay.
So My thought, and what you want to do is you want to create an environment that is becomes extremely valuable and helpful for the wedding or for these groups of people. So writing content and sharing content that's valuable to these people, but also talking these people up, promoting their businesses, promoting the wedding planner's business. So let me show you an example of how this can be done.
Okay.
We're going to start I know I talked to BJ about this before, Andrew, but basically, when I look at, when you look at community, you have 4 things that you always want to consider. One is purpose, mission, vision, goals specifically. Then you can tell that's why I've kind of tried to drill down BJ's question into, what is the exact purpose here? Because I can't make a recommendation. We want to make the focused recommendation. Second is people, of course, and then platform, and then process. How are we running it? But when it comes to platform, most people are like, okay, is it some sort of separate platform? Is it social hub site? So is it like your own thing? So you really have it broken down to external and internal. So external is your LinkedIn, your Google+, your Twitter. Anything you're using to drive and to draw in the community is your external community. Your internal community is things like your blog, your website. If you did a social hub site for, say, wedding planners or whatever, or event planners, that's, those are internals. Anything you control, you're not just a user on, those are internal. So let me show you a strategy. I think you should, just to get started, I'm going to show you, I have a couple different ways of doing this, but let me show you this here. So I'm going to go to LinkedIn. So BJ, you said, again, I think a big target for you, and feel free to just bash my thought here, but I think this is good, is to start with LinkedIn.
Okay.
And here's what I'm going to suggest initially is you could actually, on your search here, the search box, you can actually type in, say, event planners, Harrisburg. I'm just going to try that. Okay. You want to focus on, my suggestion here is you want to focus on just the general search. You're searching all. So it's searching people, it's searching groups and different things like that. Then it's a matter of actually, so let's just pull this up as an example. Okay, so there's Jacqueline Smith Bennett. Okay, so let's click on her. I pulled her, I saw she's a business and social event planner, right?
Yeah.
So for you, your services being in the media side of things, you want to get with people that are directly associated with the budget.
Okay.
Budget. A planner is somebody that, me and my wife, we booked our wedding. We went through the hotel, but that hotel made like 5 different recommendations. Here's where you get flowers. Here's where you get this. Here's where you get that. So if you're looking at social media, you're sure as heck not trying to get to me because I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really spend a lot of time on Facebook. People are like, you're in social media, but you don't spend time on Facebook or anything. I'm like, no. Because my purpose is different than some other people's purposes. So, but I understand why I might use some of the tools there. So I have some friends that, swear by Facebook and everything else. But initially you could see here. So Jacqueline is business and social event planner. You can see she's, if you just look at her profile, okay. So she works with, let's see here. It's her company. American Youth Education, Great Celebration, Social Event Planners. Oops. I think she has that connection here. Let me go. So what I would do is first thing I would do is connect with her. Okay. Well, and then from there, now I think she was, for me, she was free. She was second level here. Try to go to the second levels. If you're doing a local, you're going to find a lot of second level connections. So it's going to be a lot easier to connect with them. So the first thing you want to do is connect. Okay. So you can see, you want to be able to listen. So you want to find out, okay, she's planning some sort of event, right? So that puts you in this is a great potential referral source. Then what I want you to do is continue to do this. So take a half hour out of your day, whatever time you can allocate. Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. Director of Sales and Marketing, Lancaster Arts Hotel. Okay. Here's another one. Director of Sales and Marketing, she might be responsible for event planning, really. I'm not saying 100%, but you can see, she's also part of the Pittsburgh chapter of Meeting Planners International. So somebody like that is a connector. So again, you want to connect with this person. These people are probably like, now, when you connect with them, what I would suggest is you choose, say, friend. I mean, if you know them in other ways, great, but if you choose friend, don't just do I'd like to connect or add you to my professional network on LinkedIn. What you want to do is actually type in something like, I'm literally just like pulling this right out of my head.
More or less direct what your intentions are, right?
Right. Say, hey, I'm in media. I'm not going to write it now just because I'll probably just to think through that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that it shows that you have some thought. It's amazing what happens when you take extra time and you actually do that, because I've actually connected with some pretty influential people by doing that. That's why I got the interviews with, again, Chris Brogan and a lot of these other guys, because they listen, they know that you're actually a member of the community.
Yeah.
So spend some time doing that. So when you got these guys in your connections, right? So you're connected. One of the key things that you could start doing.
Yeah.
And you're looking at this in phase one. I could tell you, hey, do these 10 things that you really need to be doing. But let's, again, at the end of the day, what you want to do is just make that first initial. You need to draw in the community before starting to procure the community. So starting to, write about the community, do other things. So ultimately what you want is referrals, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So honestly, Jason, you opened up a whole new world, and it's like, I looked at LinkedIn in the whole nother category as almost, I always looked at it as like the professional Facebook, and everybody at my current and my full-time job is on there. And I always I think I need to go really back to the basic and defining my purpose and almost restructuring my whole LinkedIn page and setting up that resume. LinkedIn.
Yep. Yeah. Well, the other thing is too, a lot of people think of LinkedIn as a push net mechanism, right? Push. So, you look at you just pull this here. I'm going to take advantage of the whiteboard capabilities on this thing. I think you can, mind you, this is the first time I think I tried this particular tool. There's a thing where you can draw. I'm just trying to find where it's at. It's shared, and I think it's here. I think it's this. So
in a nutshell, do you mind actually like just giving me almost an overview on the whole platform? Because I know about the endorsements, and it's more or less about your job, and I don't really understand the levels though.
Basically, well, let me put it in context, because I could probably spend 2 hours going over like every little feature inside of LinkedIn, which really doesn't make sense, because you want to focus on what you're going to use today.
Exactly.
You need business today, not. So what I would focus on is some of the key things you want to look at. Obviously, anybody that you're connected to inside of LinkedIn, as I mentioned before, use the search tool to get started. That'd be the first area, and then type in again, event planners, wedding planner. I'm sure if you did like wedding planners, obviously you probably have a little bit more specific results that come back. And I'll show you groups here in a minute. I think that's one. But what most people, like I said, you could spend a lot of time endorsing everything like that. But what most people don't do on LinkedIn, which is the big miss, is actually paying attention to their status updates. Because what most people don't realize is that your phone, right? Anytime, generally by default, if you download the app like LinkedIn app or Twitter app or anything like that, generally what happens is that when they get somebody to respond or somebody that mentions them on some of these social networks, they'll get a notification on their phone. So now you've actually bypassed email as a way to notify them and saying, hey, you know what, I'm here, but you didn't actually have to like email blast it or do some sort of uncomfortable, sort of awkward introduction to do that, make that happen.
Yeah.
So a good example, you can see here, let's like kind of follow through here. So if you go down through, basically what you're looking at here, so I might go down through here and, my goal is to pick out people that are sharing things of interest, but also people that are part of the community that I need help with today. Right. Okay, so good example, like, some people I might not respond directly to, but like good example, I might go through and I'm just trying to pick a good one here. Let's see. So let me go here. Let me just try to, hang on, trying to find a good one here. I think, okay. So Brian Clark, he is with Copyblogger. Okay. Copyblogger is a very big blog. They also have a bunch of services around the writing area, but they also have a lot of marketers that subscribe to their tool set, right? So a social hub site is a tool that I have that obviously marketers can do really well with. Obviously it's a great tool. It's a great target market to some degree. So if, my goal is to, hey, if I can start to build a relationship with this guy's got, tons of connections that he can get me, or we can get me connected to. So, my goal there is to show him that I'm a part of his community, or say if it's a referral source, I want to be able to kind of acknowledge to this individual that, hey, I'm here, I'm listening, I actually give a crap, for lack of better words. And from there, I want to be able to take that relationship to the next level. Maybe it's a matter of actually having a cup of coffee, a meeting, whatever your next step is. But initially what you're trying to do is kind of get that initial level of trust built up. So what I might do with Brian here, so Brian shared this link out. You can see nobody else. Oops, hang on, I'm not sure. Hold up. There we go. So nobody else liked his link. You can see most people don't get a lot of likes on LinkedIn. That's what I'm saying. On Facebook, they're used to getting a lot of that kind of stuff. The way LinkedIn works is, that's why I'm telling you, I think initially it's good to start this way, because a lot of, it's not like Facebook where you have a ton of people like your stuff, but then you don't necessarily get notified in the same fashion.
Exactly. Yeah.
So here I might like his thing. Okay. So now he just got a notification. I might say, okay, comment. I might say, hey, Brian, or Brian, whatever. Thanks for sharing this. It's helpful link.
So I think I pretty much got it. I think one of my one of the main focuses I need to revamp and evaluate is just my whole identity period on this network. If I'm looking for media business, I can't have an identity of someone who works in a warehouse. I need to restructure that whole identity to make sure everything is lining up as far as what I'm looking to present.
Well, yeah. The other thing is, sorry, I'm just getting Joel here. The other thing in it's here is to show that you are, number one, that you're listening, that you're there. Because again, once you start to promote things, right? You are obviously, everybody has things that they want to promote. We want to promote Social Media Help Center. You want to be able to promote your entertainment, the media side of what you do. So, but you can't really promote effectively if other people don't know they're listening. It's just like, if I don't listen to my wife, this is actually a really good example. If I don't listen to my wife, she's not going to, when I, if I'm asking, hey, whatever, can I get a back scratch at the end of the night? No, I'm not going to get it because I didn't listen earlier. So you start to get that kind of level. You get that level of respect by doing that. And most people don't. It's that 15 minutes of like, you know what? I'm going to stop everything else. Not try to do 1,000 things today. I'm just going to go through and I'm going to acknowledge to the people that, event planners and people that can really help me drive forward, or, be a referral source, is just to acknowledge the fact that I'm actually listening to them. And then from there, like I said, so look at an example with Brian. If I look at him, okay, this is a member of my community that can help me grow. If I want to, now that I know it, I acknowledged him, I might go to his profile, then send him a direct message. I might endorse him, again, notify him again, sending him a direct message saying, hey, do you want to get together for a cup of coffee? And then from there, you could work on your internal marketing, strategies, maybe a blog, or, inviting him to different groups. So now what you're doing, because here's the thing, a lot of people start off their community and they say, hey, we want to invite, they connect with a lot of people. They don't listen. They invite a lot of people in. They're like, well, I'm getting nobody to read my stuff. Nobody's sharing it. Nobody's commenting. Nobody really cares. It's really because you haven't shown interest in them.
Exactly. Yeah.
It is I scratch your back, you scratch my back type of thing. Especially in digital media, because most people are sort of chaotic with it. Most people post information without actually listening to what other people have to say.
Yeah,
you can see here. Yeah. Just look at your. Look at your. A
free meeting.
Yeah, I guess that's what they mean by. Well, I guess I'll have to upgrade it then if I want to do the full hour. Regardless, worst case scenario, if we get cut off, I can just launch another session here. It doesn't matter.
You were great though, man. I'm glad we were able to talk today, and I'm glad that you're pointing me more in like the business with the business. You don't just, you got to let your purpose and hear other people's what other people are saying, and that's the only way that you're going to really fulfill that purpose.
Yeah, it's simple. I mean, you start with totally. You start with the strategies you can implement easier, not easier, but easily. And that's, like I said, LinkedIn. I mean, this is simple. This is not, I mean, I could sit here and show you how to do technology things. I could show you how to set up WordPress, which we will do. But if you don't start here, then it's going to be very difficult that when you launch those, types of things, you're going to be kind of like, oh, let me launch that. Then I'll go back with these people. In the meantime, get 10 good contacts, connect with 10 people, 10 event planners that, again, the reason why you want to do this, BJ, is because, if you connect with a bunch of people like me, good example, like even I'm a business person and I'm there, but I'm not managing events.
Yeah.
Now I might be connected to some, but really at the end of the day, and most people, you can look at this. I mean, how many likes, seriously, how many people besides some of these ones that are like corporate, driven and everything else, look at how many likes these guys get. None, maybe like one person. This person didn't get any. There's like 2 likes there, but nobody's really. You don't see like tons of comments. At Facebook, you see a ton of that stuff, right? So what you want to do is you want to just extract yourself out of that and be that person that's actually listening. And because here's the other thing, and I'll shut up after this. But once you've gotten their attention, so like good example with I'll show you one guy. And this really, really does work. I actually landed a sale because of this. Let me actually can't remember. Let me see. What was his? I know I had the string somewhere. It might even be a part of a presentation. Anyway, what I trying to think exactly where I put when that was. Anyway, I responded back to one of the. I think it was John Anthony. That was his name. He's a mortgage specialist. And he put out a video on as a video tip on something with in the mortgage industry, right? Now I know this individual. I know John Anthony, and when I had originally or what I did with him is I actually paid attention to his status update. And responded to that, I started the discussion around that. From there, what I did is I actually went here and, I sent him a quick message saying, hey, let's get together for a cup of coffee. I think Social Hub Site would be a good fit for you in what you're trying to do. You're doing these videos, you can do them a heck of a lot easier and all this sort of stuff, So, but, so when you're reaching out to these people and you're responding and you're liking, don't wait 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You like them, you comment on their stuff. Like that person I just commented on, I should be asking him for an interview on Social Hub Site tomorrow or today, not 2 weeks from now, because they'll forget who I am. We're creatures. We're kind of, your brain is almost like a Twitter account. By the time you see something, it's already gone.
Right, That's what's happening with this media now.
Yeah. It really is. There's so much out there. There's so much to disseminate. And everything else. But the biggest thing that people don't do, and this is how you can really separate yourself and start to get the attention, start to drive that community, which is just to hey, how do I create strategies around listening? And listening is the easiest thing you can do in social media. Like I said, it's going to your status feeds and liking their stuff, commenting on it. Exactly. I mean, it sounds like stupid simple.
No, I know exactly what you mean, man. Listening is the first step in communication. So yeah. I know exactly what you mean.
and cups, the more cups of coffee you drink, honestly, the more money you'll start making.
Yeah.
Because if you take them and actually, especially in a local market, especially Harrisburg, because I know you guys, you know, I know the area. Obviously, we're all from the same area, so it's a very kind of, you know, I know your sister, I know your brother type market.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, that's very important to try to take it from the digital world to the real world. You know, you go to some of the bigger cities, you can do more of the strategy, you know, more of the digital side of things, but that would be my initial recommendation.
You know, I thank you for that, man. I really do, man. This was really like a big icebreaker because I was putting a lot of ideas together, but it's more or less structuring my purpose and, you know, defining that identity so it can be receivable to the people I'm seeking for business. Mm-hmm.
Well, what we'll do, I might even, like I said, what are your thoughts, just real quick, because I got to upgrade this thing. I see the free only gives you 45 minutes. I wasn't sure like how that would all work, but either way.
It's all right. I mean, it's cool. Yeah.
We're going to do these. I have it scheduled every, you know, throughout. The reminders go out on Thursday, and then Tuesday morning, like this morning, you know, it has the link and everything. Try to get in there. What I'd like to go over with you next time is to actually show you how to set up WordPress and to get you set up in MailChimp.
Okay.
You should do that because as you're doing this, as you're building your contacts on LinkedIn, which I want to start doing, kind of what I did on Jason Verdelli is, well, I've been doing this for years, but is actually to start to add these people into your list. So as you build your blog, then you know, you can start to you know, you're starting to put into context with them. So you're the cool guy that they like that's listening to them, but you're the cool guy that actually has real solutions for them.
Yeah.
And you're also sharing things. But when you're on that network, it's not always about sharing, it's about listening. But I think so I think it'd be good to go over some of that next time.
Okay, yeah.
So
man, I'm as long as it's in the morning, I'm available, you know. As long as I got the email, I definitely need to get back on the WordPress because that really lets you control the media. Once you could structure it and put that content out, man, you won.
Yeah, so be prepared. Like I said, next time I'll go over that. We'll go over a base install on WordPress, and we'll go over basically how to set up your MailChimp. And then I have a really awesome integration you can build in. So when anybody subscribes or anybody you put into your site, you can automatically add to your email list. And because what you want to do is you want to make this a well-oiled machine. So let's put that on the agenda. I'll make sure I upgrade this thing. So if we go over the hour, we might even need 2 hours. I don't know. I mean, the cool thing is all I want to make sure we do is help you. I want to make this a really awesome tool. And you know, again, I think it'd be next week would be awesome because I'll be able to show you the whole WordPress setup, and we'll get into some of the technical stuff. So that'll be good.
Yeah, that sounds great. One thing, I don't need to use Linux, do I?
No, you don't need to use any. There's not a specific thing.
All right.
There. So, but good stuff. Well, in the meantime, if you have any questions, like I said, pump the questions into the help center, and we'll take it from there. So, all right, Andrew, thanks for joining in today. I appreciate it.
No worries. It was very informative. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Take care, Jason. Thanks again, man.
Awesome. Look forward to seeing you guys next week.
All right.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.